And we're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Four Quarters. All sports, every day, all day. And she's a babe. I really got to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
My money's on that.
And to no surprise, my shout out, Caitlin Clark.
And we're live.
Huh?
Oh, hey, we're live.
Oh, hey, we're live. Oh, we should stop showing dog pictures then.
Freya's a little baby.
Oh, Freya is
Freya.
Freya is Freya. Welcome in. Welcome into what is the name of the show? Four Quarters. Live on our Four Quarters Facebook page and 802 Scoops. And you know the drill. You know the drill about YouTube. This is our second one of the year, right?
Yes,
I thought it was our first, but we are on New Year's Day.
Yep.
So welcome, the usual cast of characters. We got a lot to talk about, mainly NFL.
No.
Because
big weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Monday. We love to talk NFL. We'll try to stay on the Four Quarters and save the NFL to the end.
We'll
I don't
try,
know if we can do that. I think I just lost.
I mean, we digress a lot.
we do digress
and
a
it
lot.
usually goes to the NFL.
I'm gonna swing it to Wheels first for her shout out as I try to fix my microphone.
I have two shout outs today. The first shout out is to Sammy Drake's little boy. Last week when we were talking about her, we're like, send us updated pictures of Braxton. I, of course, get to see him, but this...
We don't get to see him.
You don't, and you haven't seen him since the summer.
Right.
He is so stinking cute.
Oh my goodness.
So stinking cute. And she also... They had the baby and they got a puppy at the same time. I mean, why
Right.
not? Why? Like,
oh my gosh.
you know?
So let's see a picture of both.
Right. So Ruger is in the picture.
Sammy's in the house.
And Sammy's.
Hi, Sammy.
So that's little Braxton. He really is such a happy boy.
Those cheeks, those eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
So cute.
The funniest thing is, so everyone was worried about the puppy and her Christmas tree. You're always worried about the puppy and the tree.
Yep.
Well, honestly,
Valid.
it was Braxton who kept trying to eat the Christmas tree.
Oh no.
So they had to put a leash on his little walker, and every time he would walk his way over to the tree, they had to pull him back.
Oh.
The dog,
my
no.
God.
But Braxton was
Oh
all
my
about the
God.
tree.
Oh, that's a
So, which is just so funny to
Yeah.
me. Like, he literally was eating it like corn on the cob. Like,
oh.
so,
Oh my God, that's good
but
stuff.
yeah, so he had a great first Christmas.
Wait till next Christmas when
Right.
he's really starting to get it.
Yeah.
The whole Santa and
He will,
everything.
yeah.
Yep.
He won't even care about the tree at that point because
Right.
he'll understand what presents are.
Presents.
Oh, yeah. And then my other shout out is to Simone Biles. Last week I told you, 2 weeks ago, Caitlin Clark was the Time Athlete of the Year. Well, Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year is Simone Biles.
Love that.
Also extremely well deserved.
Yep.
Again, sports person.
Exactly. Sports person. So, if anyone ever doubted the value of women's sports,
Yes, exactly. Don't.
you're crazy.
Yeah,
Don't
you're crazy.
anymore.
Don't dare do it.
So, and that's all I got. No Caitlin Clark shout out today.
I'm gonna
She
piggyback.
was conveniently in the
Conveniently
picture.
mentioned in the other one.
You got that too, CB. huh?
Yep.
I'm going to piggyback then before I throw it to CB because we're talking about women in sports and the effect they have.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about our good friend Ilana Mayer. I mean, who is just could Vermont
Oh,
be
yeah.
any prouder right now?
No.
CB's going to flash up a picture of our dear friend. You know, we can call her that because she's from Vermont.
Yep.
Okay. Ticket sales have broken a record ahead of U.S. rugby star Ilana Mayer making her debut for the Bristol Bears women's team. Bristol's match day lineup announced on Friday includes the 28-year-old Mayer on the bench. The American only returned to England on New Year's Day. She says, I don't care if it's freezing cold, come out and support some great rugby. She had begun training with Bristol in December when the team announced the signing before going back to the United States for the holidays. Mare, the most followed rugby player on the planet.
Oh yeah, easily.
On the planet.
I don't even think you can name whoever would be second.
Right?
At least not in America.
No,
She
definitely
immediately boasted Bristol's ticket sales. Close to 8,000 fans are expected Sunday, blowing away the previous attendance record for a Bristol women's home match of 4,000.
Yeah, 'cause
That's crazy.
4,000.
They had to move the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
For her.
Because of one person.
Yep.
And it was funny because there was like some comment on a post. I guess I forget what platform this was on, but it was
Yep.
like, oh yeah, just some like Instagrammer there or influencer there for the Bears
Influencer.
game,
Oh, jeez.
and she's like, I
Yeah.
have an Olympic medal. Put some
Yeah.
respect on my name. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She does have more than 8 million followers combined on Instagram and TikTok. And let's not forget, she was the runner-up on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
So talk about females in sports. There's another big
Yeah.
influencer right there.
Females are off to a good start in 2025.
Hell yeah.
100%. And I just love that she used her platform. And I mean, rugby, would I watch a rugby game now? I would.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I definitely would
absolutely.
watch a rugby game now.
I wouldn't know a single rule, but I would
Me-
watch
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
No, not a clue.
That is the one sport that I wished I had tried when I was younger. Just because it's effing badass.
It is
It
real
is
badass.
so badass.
It's, you got to walk off that field, dirt, mud, blood, whatever, and just feel like a badass.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
And you don't have to be particularly tall, right?
Right.
No.
So I'm like, yo, that's another plus
Come
for me. I'm
on.
like,
Yeah.
yes.
Come on, CB.
You just gotta be like agile and fast and
Which is her.
Yeah.
Which is you.
I'm
You
not
guys
fast.
just live my dream
I'm
for
not
me.
fast
Really?
at all. No.
All right, CB, I'm going to throw it your way for any shout outs
Yep.
or the dog of the week.
You know who is fast? The puppy. Piper. Piper, she's 14
Love
years
that.
old.
love the name.
If you guys have seen her post or her pictures, get on this as quickly as you can. She's going to be gone quickly. She's so stinking cute. She's a little Heinz 57 dog. She's rookie of the year, but she's putting the work in. So you know the bathroom, the potty training,
Yeah.
the leash training. It looks like she's got some lab in her. So the
Oh, boy.
the teething
Oh
training.
boy.
So she's putting the work in. She can concentrate better on learning the plays after she's had a workout.
the S's and O's
so-
will come later.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a workout first, and then the plays second. So she may wander. So she do best with
She may wander.
Yeah, so she do best with a fenced-in yard. She does well they just went through the holidays, so she did well with all the people and the dogs. So guys, she's so stinking cute. She's obviously at Team Golden Hug. So if you want a puppy, a really really adorable puppy.
Speaking of the puppies, I talked to Kate Gaylord,
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my coworkers, about how the puppy's going that came from Texas. Nora, call her Ellie, call her Nora. We're trying to get her in the studio, but anyway, everything was going great until the cold weather.
Oh,
And I kept
Yeah.
saying to Kate, make sure she has a jacket. She's coming from Texas. That all was going great.
Yeah.
Hiking, snowshoeing, whatever they've been doing. Cutting down a Christmas tree around the holidays. Then the cold weather hit.
Yep.
And now she's peeing inside.
That's what they said about Piper. Piper is also from
can't really blame
Texas.
'em.
That's what I said.
Piper's also from Texas, and she doesn't like getting her paws cold.
Right. See?
So thankfully, she's using the puppy pads.
Right.
And she will let people
Wow.
know if she needs to go to the bathroom, but not a huge fan of the cold.
The cold,
weather.
yeah.
She's so tiny too.
Nora's like, F that. And
Yeah.
then Kate's like, and then I personally had to pee. So I'm like, I'll pee, then I'll take Nora out. She comes out, and Nora had already peed. I'm like,
It's the hardest time to have a
So
puppy.
It is.
Right?
Yes.
The hardest time
Yes,
to have a
it
puppy.
is.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we took the dogs for a walk today because we haven't in the last 3 days, and
Right.
Yeah.
Avery's going insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's a
Yeah.
puppy.
Yeah.
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 So I'm like, it's cold, but let's just do it. I mean, as soon as we started, Avery was like lifting her back paw.
Yep.
Like, it's
Exactly.
cold, it's cold. And
Exactly.
Shy ended up having to carry Paisley some of the way
Yep.
because her paws were cold.
Yep.
And
Booties,
I'm like,
booties, guys, booties.
and booties are great if they wear them.
If they wear them. Freya will.
Freya
bow
does,
now.
right? Yeah, no.
Sophie
Oh,
will.
and then just
Yeah.
walks
does.
like they have
Yeah.
scuba diving equipment
Really
on.
cute. The first time you put
I mean,
them on.
Bo literally, for the first time, I think it was last night, and he was like, I'm good, I don't need to. Even though he loves his walks, he just a little around the block, and he like almost passed out
Yeah.
because he's like, my feet.
Yeah,
feet.
it is
so,
tough 'cause
yeah,
they need the exercise, but it's
Yeah.
like it's too cold.
it's
Yep.
too cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but the other night, Bo's like, yeah, I'll go right here, and then I'll go back in.
Yeah.
Because he's like, loves his walks at 13 still, but
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, no.
I've
Yeah.
been doing tons of scent training with Sophie just to tire
Tons of what?
her. Scent
Oh, gotcha.
training.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just
Yep.
to try and tire
Yep.
her
Yeah.
out
Yep.
because
Good.
otherwise she
Awesome.
goes.
Good for you.
Otherwise she goes insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Avery's is literally like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Like she's just like barking because she has so much energy.
Yeah.
It's like
Sure.
it's rough.
We
Rough.
It's a tough
digress.
time. We just need to get it's just a little warmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even I've been walking with them, but not in this. I won't.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, am I walking? Nope.
Nope.
Any more, CB? Any shout outs you got?
I had one. It's gone. I don't know. I
Did
forget. where
either
it
one of
was.
you hear that Watkins is out for South Carolina?
Yes.
Yes, for the year.
ACL.
Is it ACL?
ACL.
Just heard it at practice
that's
tonight. I'm
huge.
like, what?
That's huge.
It is huge, especially after she missed, what, first 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
at
'cause of
least?
this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, Don Staley's a great coach, and that's a deep team.
She'll find someone.
Yep.
Somebody will, you know.
Did
Fill the
anybody see
slot- fill
Kim
the role.
Mulkey's outfit from the other
Oh
night?
my god. What? That should have been a picture.
It's
Just
just that,
what?
and I could have got it because it was shown
find
to me
it?
at practice tonight. So
My
maybe I try
God.
to get it sent to me. Maybe CB can bring it up.
It's
But here's
wow.
the thing: we look at it, and the players are even looking at it at practice, and they're like, "What is that?" And I go, "But some coaches around the world, U.S., whatever, will end up wearing it because
yeah.
she made a fashion statement, maybe one that we don't agree with."
Well, they did a dress like Kim Mulkey night at the game.
Good God!
So fans
good
came
God.
in with, they had like the blonde wigs and like the fancy whatever clothes that she
Yeah,
always wears
well,
with all the
the
sparkles
sparkle.
and the glitter,
The bling bling
bling
sparkle.
blings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
For all who don't know, and I do have some pictures up. I'm trying to find. Oh, here's maybe a better picture. She basically dressed up as a basketball.
As a
hoop.
basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Literally, she was a basketball hoop. I mean,
Yeah.
the girl's got a ton of confidence. The gal
She
does.
does.
And
I mean, kudos to her for
yep,
doing it.
Yep.
You know,
Amen. Amen.
I personally would rather dress like Dawn Staley, but hey, that's me.
Me
Yo,
too.
Dawn Staley.
You know?
Badass.
So
Yeah.
cool, man.
Bad
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
Maybe she lost a bet. Maybe she got
I mean,
gets
the only
paid for this.
person I know that can wear all the beads and the bracelets like Dawn Staley does, and I'm like, I couldn't pull that off. I mean, Dawn Staley's just cool.
right, she is cool.
Oozes
and then
cool.
and then she's
Yeah.
always wearing like the Gucci. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish.
Let me give a shout out here to Williamstown Basketball that will have a community charity game this Saturday. The girls' game will be at 2 p.m., the boys' game at 5 p.m. They're raising money for the recovery of 2016 Blue Devil graduate Christian Eaton, who was injured in a motor vehicle accident. So get out there and support Williamstown Basketball Community Charity Games this Saturday, 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Give a shout out to the second annual Solstice tournament that was put on at the Barry Odd last weekend. We started Friday night, where it was a sweep for Twinfield over the Williamstown boys 51-43, and then Twinfield over the Williamstown girls 57-39. A sweep by Hazen Saturday afternoon, the boys winning the first game, and then the girls, boys,
Yes.
and then the girls winning the second game,
Yep.
48-43.
Close
But can
game.
I just give a shout out in that game to 8th grader Daisy Berg? Yes, I said 8th
Wow.
grader Daisy Berg, who made 5 3-pointers
Wow.
Damn.
for People's Academy.
8th grader.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
That's so
earlier on
impressive.
Saturday, it was the Montpelier boys over Spalding High School 83-38, and the Spalding girls over Montpelier 67-26, where sophomore Cameron Sofin made her debut. She did in game one, but rolled her ankle. And she hit 5 3-pointers as well for a 17-point afternoon for her. Overall, a very wonderful weekend of basketball.
It's so cool
at-
they do that. I
really
I really
is.
hope that
It really
they can
is.
expand on that and more teams come in.
Yes.
Especially more local teams.
I agree.
It's just it's just awesome. I mean, you get to play
It's
the
awesome
odd.
to be at the odd.
Yeah.
You're playing
You're
at the odd.
It's just different.
And it's really kind of, it's neat for somebody that has been going to games at the odd my whole life. And I was calling both of the games on Friday night, and you could just feel the electricity.
it's
I
just
went down
different.
onto the floor to talk to, we both went down, John Pellegrini and I, to talk to both coaches. And you're looking at Twinfield and Williamstown, and you're like, okay, these two teams expect to be here.
Right.
In March, but the electricity, the intensity. Missing shots early because that's what the odd effect is. I
Yes,
call
it
it
is.
the odd effect, and that's what it is. So it was really a great weekend. And last year there were only 4 teams. This year 6. Would love to see
Love that.
expanded
Yeah.
even more.
Yep.
Maybe we can get some more games in on Friday or later on a Saturday
Yeah.
night. But just fun basketball, and like you just said, Wheels. It's always just so much fun. You're at the Barry Auditorium.
Yeah, it's just different. Everything's different there.
I'm gonna just give a quick shout out to the athletic training staff at Spalding High School and the athletic director, Derek and Chelsea. I know they don't want me to give them a shout out.
They deserve it.
But a very well-deserved shout out. There was games going on, JV games going on. Well, the Solstice tournament started Friday. There was JV games going on at Spalding High School, Milton and Spalding boys, followed by Montpelier and Spalding JV girls. We were practicing on the court next door, and a young man from Milton, Dominic from Milton, went into cardiac arrest, and the way that staff reacted, it's just outstanding. I looked at Chelsea the next day and just thanked her. She's going to be so mad that I'm even talking about it. And she was quick to give shout outs to everybody that assisted her. Dominic is in Boston recovering. But the fact that he is in Boston recovering
Yeah.
is because of the quick work and the AED.
Yep.
Always right next. There's one on the wall, but there's always one right next to Chelsea.
And
as
what's
well.
wild is, and it's shown all the time on like TV, on like the medical dramas. Someone
Yeah.
goes into cardiac arrest,
Yeah.
you do CPR, and they come back.
Yeah.
But the statistics
Yeah.
on CPR actually being successful
Right.
is stupid low. It helps to have an AED. That makes a huge,
Huge
difference.
difference, yeah.
Right.
But still, and for the people to just not even hesitate to just
That's just
go,
it.
like to be a first responder, like shout out to
Yeah,
all the
oh,
athletic
yeah.
trainers and
Yes.
everyone who has to.
It's
do
also
that.
just crazy to think that I don't know when it started, but there was not usually an athletic trainer at games
Right.
for high school.
Yeah.
15 years I was at Northfield and wanted them.
Yeah.
But you just
I mean,
didn't get
just
'em.
think about that. Like,
Right.
when we were in high school, there was no athletic
There
trainer.
was no athletic trainer. So imagine
So
if
just
something
imagine,
like this.
Right.
Yeah. So it just it goes to show you the importance of having an athletic trainer at a school event, regardless of if it's varsity or if it's middle school.
Right.
Right. Oh,
It's
God.
so important to have them there. It's so important to have a staff that's trained in where everything is, and they just work so well together. Because I'm sure that they're like, "Oh, this will never happen at here."
That's the thought process,
it's-
right? Unfortunately.
you never think of that ever. Oh, sprained ankle, ACL,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
But it's like, I'm never going to need to use
they're
the AED.
kids, they're
Like,
healthy.
yeah.
But
But no, I mean, it happens. I mean, it happened in football. It happened.
Yeah.
It happens all the time, but never hit this close to home.
Right.
So
Right.
absolute kudos to Chelsea and the team
the
at
crew.
Spalding,
Yeah.
and even you guys having to deal with the commotion of what's going on and knowing all right, let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
it's little things like that too that play a role and that helped save the life of this kid. So kudos to everybody.
I know he was on the news and they were interviewing him, and it just was so good to just see him talking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I have to give a few shout outs.
And I know they're selling T-shirts for him,
yes,
right?
they are selling
Yep.
T-shirts. Yep. I think $1,500 already has
That's
been
awesome.
raised.
Oh, solid.
That's awesome.
And expect more to be raised. So talk about a big shout out to the community
Community.
of Barrie as
Yeah.
well. And with that, I'm going to go to the other end of the spectrum with worst thing I heard. I'm opening the door, I'm out, bro. God, I can't stand that bro statement.
Yep.
That is Tyreek Hill
yeah,
at
it
the
is.
Miami
Yep.
Blast.
Yep. I'm out, bro.
I'm like, okay, see ya. Don't let the door
It's like-
hit you on the
the way,
way
yep.
out. I
They
just,
paid you all that money.
yep.
Raylene says absolutely regarding the shout outs and the importance of athletic trainers. And then Sam said, it's a basketball player's dream to play at the Odd.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I've had kids tell me in 26 years of being around the game as a coach, but as a player, that's all I wanted to do.
Oh, that's it. Man,
That's all I wanted to
that's
do.
all I ever
She
wanted.
just wanted to step on that odd floor.
So bad.
As a player.
So bad. I don't even care if I went there and our team got spanked. I would have been
Right?
there.
Right?
Like,
right?
that's all I ever wanted. That's it. All my high school friends went because they all played at high schools where their basketball teams were awesome. But,
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, it's a little bitter pill. Little bit.
Yep. I could not agree
know?
with you more.
Ugh.
Other thing I read, and I just don't get it, is Coach Sean McDermott said he was hopeful that Amari Cooper would be available for Sunday's game against the Broncos, but would not commit to it. Amari Cooper has not been a full-time receiver in Buffalo since being acquired. We said, and I'm not going to speak for you guys, but I know we did. I said that was the best trade
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the trade
I did too.
deadline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And this is for personal reasons, so I don't know what's going on, so I can't dive too much into wanting to be like, what are you doing, Amari?
Right.
But he could be a difference maker for this
yes,
team.
100%.
And again, I don't know personal issues, what he's going through. But I said at the trade deadline, the best trade that went down was that one. And I do hope he is able to get everything in line.
Yeah.
So that he is able to play, because he could be a difference maker
Oh,
for
100%.
Buffalo.
Especially with the Denver defense. I mean,
Exactly.
They need him.
I mean, one of the games that I'm not taking for granted, 2 versus 7, and we'll talk about it later, is holy shit, Buffalo, you got
Yeah.
the Denver Broncos
Yeah.
coming to town.
yeah, that is not going to be.
That's a little scary for me. That is a little scary. Looking at the CFP, which starts tomorrow, college football playoffs, I think I thought they were both on Saturday.
I did too.
And somebody said something to me today, and I know I gave the blank look. Huh? Wait, what's today? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yep. And tomorrow will be Notre Dame and Penn State. As I was chatting with a few coworkers, we did make the comment first, and shame on me for saying this probably, but Notre Dame or Penn State are going to be in the championship game, which I never, ever would have picked that.
No.
I think the more rounded game, and I can't believe I'm saying this, so is Texas and Ohio State, which when I say that, I mean, I thought that could be the championship game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, we're talking 4 versus 5, 3 versus 6.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, gone.
God.
Yep.
Yep.
And I know we all thought this, and Ohio State is not your typical 6 seed.
No.
No.
And
They made Oregon look mediocre.
So bad.
very mediocre.
Edward Fulner says, "Go Irish."
I am
Good job,
going
Ed.
for the Irish
Agreed,
as well.
Ed.
Ed.
Agreed. Yep. Cork will
and-
hate us for that, but
Yes,
it's fine.
she will.
It's
She
fine.
will, 100%. She said she would give up a championship in fantasy football
For-
for Penn State to win the
Okay.
national title. I'm like, I'll take the fantasy
Yeah.
football. Anyway, I thought Oregon got the worst
Oh, they
seeding.
did, yeah.
Not the worst seeding, matchup.
Matchup,
I mean,
yeah.
they were the number 1 team. They were
Right.
undefeated. Love that Oregon team. But yes, Ohio State choked in a few games,
Yes.
Yep.
especially to Michigan.
Yep.
Yep.
But sliding them to 6, I was like, that's the team Oregon doesn't want to
No.
face.
I don't think anybody does.
Right? And I do look at Texas, who could have easily lost to Arizona State.
And
That
honestly,
Scatabo, that running back for
he is something.
He's-
Oh my gosh.
freaking.
He is a little ball muscle.
Yep.
I can't wait to see where he
Literally.
goes in the draft.
Yeah.
Literally. Yep.
I mean, watching him play,
Yeah.
and he's beat to crap
Oh
in
yeah,
that game.
he's throwing up on the sideline.
He just
like,
kept going.
he's-
Oh my. It's yeah.
What the heck, right?
Incredible.
I mean,
Incredible.
both teams had chances to win that game.
Yep.
I mean, the Texas kicker, seriously,
Yep.
Oh, yep.
seriously.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, I was
I
like-
was like, how does this happen twice?
And he was solid.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Yep.
Yep.
So when he went to kick the game, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, game done.
Right.
Yeah.
I started to walk away from the
Yep,
TV.
so did I.
Yep.
And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You're going to lose. You're going to
Yeah.
lose now.
Yep.
You should lose now.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but and when Sarkisian said, we need to play better, I'm like, you think?
Yeah.
They interviewed him after. I'm like, well, coach.
I mean, yours, it was a tale of two halves.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
he played terrible
Yes.
in the
Yes.
first half.
Yes.
I was like, might have to bring in the Arch, might have to bring in the Manning, but
Yep.
he played wonderful in the fourth and in overtimes. But
I think, no, I know. I can't say I think because I'm giving my opinion here. I am cheering for Notre Dame to win this thing.
I am as well.
Yeah.
Which means we've now given them the podcast
Yeah.
jinx. Watching Marcus Freeman and listening, I listened to the coaches afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sarkisian should have gave more props to Arizona State. And that's all I wanted him to do
Yep.
was say,
Yeah.
we do need to play better.
Yeah.
But props to Arizona.
Yeah.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shame on you. And I really like Texas and I really like him. Ryan Day has to win to still, I think, save his job. Maybe I'm wrong at Ohio State. But they are playing their best ball right
Yeah, they
now.
are.
Yeah.
And of the 4, I think they are the best team, Ohio State.
Agreed.
It
Yes.
pains me to say that.
It pains me very much to say that. But that freshman receiver is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's playing his best. If he wasn't a freshman,
Number one pick.
Oh, yeah.
number one
Oh,
pick in
yeah.
the
Oh,
draft,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Marcus Freeman, you interview him after the game, and he's dealing with a lot of injuries, and he's like, it's just next man up. It's next man up. Riley Leonard, I mean, he's thanking God, his teammates, he's just thanking everyone, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Marcus Freeman quickly said, you need to thank all these people, and he's pointing to the Notre Dame fans,
Aw.
and, he's thanking the other team and everything, and I'm like, I love the character
Yes.
of this Notre Dame
Yes.
team.
Agreed.
I really do. I'm not one to cheer for Notre Dame. Have never really done that. I'm cheering for them in the CFP. I love the women's basketball program. Drew Aller needs to play lights out for Penn State, I feel.
Yep.
I think when you look at Texas and Ohio State, it's right now Ohio State is finishing drives and Texas is not.
Not at all.
And it reminds me of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they've got to finish their drives because Ohio State's
Yeah, they're not going to settle. You're going to have to. You're going to every time you're in the red zone, you're going to have to score
100%.
a touchdown.
And you're
Like, you
talking-
can't settle for field goals against Ohio State.
Do we give Texas the check mark defensively? They have slightly better defense than Ohio State, but they're both good.
They are.
So it's either going to be 18-14
Right.
or it's going to be a shootout. Can Texas get in a shootout?
That's just it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And, Notre Dame is just next man up. We believe in one another. We got one another's back. And Penn State's a good team.
I think that's going to be very low scoring.
Yes.
That game's going to. I think the games are going to be total opposites. I think that the Ohio State Texas game is going to be more of a shootout. Notre Dame Penn State is going to be a defensive battle, in my opinion.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. Who you guys leaning with? I mean, I'm talking about my heart.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. And I'm like, I think whoever wins the Texas-Ohio State game
It's gonna
wins
win
it.
it. Yeah.
I need to see a 180. Texas needs to play. If they play like they did against Arizona State.
No shot.
Well,
No
that's
sh-
just it. So
Yeah.
No
for
shot.
me, my heart wants Texas,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, same here.
But from what I've seen from Texas in the games that they've played, I haven't been all that impressed.
me either.
And I've
Pains
been
me to
impressed
say it.
with Ohio State, which pains
Yep.
me to say.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it's going to be Notre Dame, Ohio State. It's not what I want. I
Right.
want Notre Dame, Texas, but I'm going out and saying that it's going to be Notre Dame and Ohio State.
So as we were talking about Scatabo, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but if you do watch the Notre Dame Penn State game tomorrow night, just watch the tight end for Penn State, Ty Warren. I've been watching this kid all year long. He is a freaking stud. I already put him in the comparison, even though I don't like to compare. I keep doing it. I put him in a Travis Kelce comp.
wow.
This kid is so freaking good. Michigan's got a tight end that's good as well when we're talking about the draft. But Ty Warren does it all for Penn State offensively. The kid is fun to watch. And with that, I think Ohio State's going to win the whole thing, and it's painful. And I read an article recently that said Ryan Day should be out at Ohio State, meaning even if he wins it, they think he should just make himself a free agent. And I'm like, because how it is at Ohio State,
Yeah.
and you've lost to Michigan. You're 1-4. Is it against
they've
Michigan?
lost their last 4.
So I'm like, I don't know about that. He just needs to win it. And even if he doesn't, I think his job is safe. You know, a week ago, I wouldn't have agreed to that.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I'm like,
If they would have went one and done,
Oh, for
then
sure.
for
Yeah.
sure he would have been fired the next
yeah.
day.
Because losing to an unranked Michigan team,
Yeah.
just in my eyes, is just like, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
So Notre Dame, Penn State tomorrow night, and Texas and Ohio State on Friday night. I can't watch tomorrow night's game, but I will certainly be watching Friday
what
night's
time's the game?
game.
7:30.
Okay.
Before we get to the NFL playoffs, I think the next quarter has to be dedicated to the coaching carousel
Oh,
in the
geez.
NFL and Black Monday. And we already started by we were yelling, our decibel level got a little high. Wheels, what did you say before we went on the air? What ticked you off?
That Antonio Pierce was fired by the Raiders.
And I agree with you.
I was so
Me too.
pissed.
I was going to text you guys. I should have texted you guys. When I
I-
saw that, I was like, oh my
I was more pissed about that than the Giants not firing their staff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
we'll get to that after.
Yeah.
We'll get to that after. I digress. But Antonio Pierce, he's
know.
a dog, man.
Right.
Like, why are you giving
He's
him
a dog.
1 year with
Right.
With
three
no quarterback.
quarterbacks?
Right.
No
That-
quarterback.
And his
Or
and
three.
his locker room still
Right.
defended him.
Yes,
Yep.
the locker room, the guys love him.
Yeah.
They love to play for him. He loves the game. He just didn't have a quarterback.
Right.
Nope.
You can't. I'm just so mad about it. Like, I want
Yeah.
the Giants to hire him so bad, but
Don't worry.
don't worry.
Don't worry.
Our coaching staff is safe because
And
your
our
GM.
GM.
because
and
we've
your
done
GM.
so well.
Which pisses me off way more. Like Dable, whatever. But the fact that they're keeping the GM, I'm like,
Who? Go ahead, say it again.
fucking let Bark signed
Here now.
friggin'
Woo-wee.
signed Daniel Jones to this huge contract.
Yep.
Who we let him go,
Yep.
and then let Barkley go to your division rival, where he almost broke the rushing record.
Right.
I mean, he would have never
He
done
would've.
that. He would have
would've.
never
Right,
done
he-
that
right.
with the Giants.
No,
Because the
never.
Giants just doesn't
Never.
have that line.
Right. No.
But
So
So
Antonio
pissed.
Pierce
So pissed.
gets screwed, and Gerard Mayo
Gets
screwed.
screwed, yeah.
Absolutely
I'm like,
screwed.
Yep.
whoa, that was like an hour after the game.
1 hour.
literally,
And as soon as it was announced or breaking news by Adam Schefter, I'm like, okay, you're trying to, and Robert Kraft admitted he screwed up. You screwed up royally.
Royally.
Mr.
don't worry,
Kraft.
guys. It was one of the hardest decisions
Right.
the man has ever
Did you
Oh,
play
made.
your
yeah.
violin
Guys.
as
Yeah.
he was saying that in a
Yep.
press conference, and I'm like, it's all because Mike Vrabel
Yeah, that's
Yep.
it.
is the
That's it.
hottest one out there,
That's
as
it.
he should be.
Yep.
Yep.
But he was being interviewed by the Jets already. So he's like, oh, got to get Mayo out of here.
Yep.
And a 4-year plan was in place
Yep.
with Belichick to Mayo was the successor,
Yep.
and now he's gone.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and he had said, like,
I'm like, what is
like when he
happening?
hired, I mean, he hired Mayo. Like,
Yep.
Right.
that was his boy.
Yeah.
He wanted him.
Yep.
And he knew, and he said he knows they're rebuilding. He understands they're going to have
Yep.
a rookie quarterback, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And,
Yep.
and then
Not
you
a shot.
fire him.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think it's funny too, because Patriots fans are all over social media loving that he got fired. And I'm like, you guys are.
They have no idea.
What did
You
they
have no
expect
idea.
this year?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
really,
they're-
what
Right.
did they
Right.
expect?
I'm
I
like,
mean,
you
come on.
guys, just because you're so used to winning,
Exactly. That's
Right.
it. That's it.
That's it.
like,
That's
you
it.
could
Fair
have put
weather-
Belichick with that team,
Yep.
and they still would have went 4 and whatever.
Because
like,
what were they the year before with Belichick?
I mean,
it was, they were
they
top-
just
not
don't.
great. They're
They
picking
didn't
in the
have
top
the
3.
They didn't have the personnel. I thought Mayo did a good
Did
job
not.
in a pressure
rebuilder.
situation.
It's
You're
a rebuild.
replacing a legend.
It's a rebuild.
Like,
Yep.
Christy's in the house. She says,
Hey,
fuck,
Christy.
She says, fuck the Giants. We agree. Wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly.
We agree. She also says Mayo didn't even have a chance.
Nope. Nope.
This Pats fan is not a fan of him being fired. We were spoiled.
Yep. Yep.
thank you for admitting that as a
Yep.
Pats fan.
And
you're
her and I
spoiled.
text quite a bit on Sunday and went
Yeah.
back and forth,
Yeah.
and talk about a team that wins a game and
Yeah.
drops in the what am I trying to say? The
Draft.
draft in April. But Christy was right on. They don't need a quarterback.
They don't.
So they don't need 1 and 2.
Yeah.
No.
The winners, though, out of as the dust settled, and we now know it's Titans, Browns,
Yep.
Giants, Pats, is the Giants, maybe.
Maybe.
Because things are going to change 100 times.
Yep. Mhm.
But if those two franchises, Tennessee and Cleveland, go QB,
They're gonna go
Travis
Travis.
Hunter falls
False
into
to,
Yep.
your
Yep.
lap. And your GM can't screw that one up.
Well,
Yep, I said it.
well, I wouldn't be
on-
surprised if we trade
It's
the
on-
pick.
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
And Christy was right, the Patriots, whoever falls to them, because, they got some holes to fill. But let's look at offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you talk about Antonio Pierce, so no quarterback really.
no.
No running
No
game.
running game
No.
whatsoever.
Nope.
So the only player you had offensively, the weapon, was Brock Bowers, who
Who was amazing.
could
Yep.
really honestly get Rookie of the Year, even
Yeah.
though we all know Jaden Daniels will probably get it. He was outstanding.
Yes.
So you game planned around that.
Yep.
And your defense showed up every game.
Yep.
Yep.
They were in every game.
Yes, they were.
So if you have a quarterback, you probably win 4 or 5 more games
Yeah. Yep.
in a rebuilding year.
Yeah.
Shame on both of those owners.
Yep.
Is all I can say.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Other than Mike Vrabel, who everybody is fighting over, which well deserved. Mike
Yeah.
Vrabel is a stud. Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson,
yeah.
Aaron Glenn, and get a load of this, Robert Saleh as well. Pete Carroll is getting quite a few
Yes.
interviews
Yes. I saw that.
as well. Kellen Moore, Joe Brady, Todd Monken, all the names are out there. We can make our short list here, though. Vrabel. We know Ben Johnson is
I
the
know.
most
Yeah.
sought-after guy out there. If the Patriots got Ben Johnson, that would be the only one I would think would push Vrabel
Yeah.
to the curb a little bit. Ben Johnson has already said there's one team he has no interest in, and that's the New York Jets.
Valid.
Shocker.
Crickets.
Valid.
And then the Jets also said they had no interest in interviewing him, but I'm like, no, really, he
Yeah.
has no interest in you guys.
Yes.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Yep.
Let's get real here. Aaron Glenn should be sought after huge,
Yep.
especially the way that Lions defense played against the Minnesota Vikings.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
What the?
They
what the-
showed up.
What the?
Where did
They
that come
showed
from?
up. That's why I picked them.
Where
They
did-
showed
whoops.
up.
I'm watching that game because that was the one game I could not miss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the Vikings are the better defense, but not tonight.
No.
Because Aaron Glenn is squeezing everything
Darnold, like,
he can.
choked.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're
Darnold-
Darnold choked in
Yep.
the red zone.
Yeah.
He choked. Christy says Pete Carroll keeps Botox in business. And then she says, fuck the Jets. Also wholeheartedly agree.
Of the guys that we're chatting about, Vrabel, Johnson, Glenn,
Yep.
would those be your top?
Yeah.
I have to give Liam Cohen a shout out though, because my other favorite game that I watched was Tampa Bay. And that's why we named the show Win and You're In, because I thought Tampa Bay was going to choke against
No
the
one
Saints.
wanted to win the South.
No, they
Hey.
didn't.
No one wanted to win the South.
No.
I was like, hello.
But I kept watching the game, and I kept watching, and Mayfield was struggling mightily in the first half, and then Mayfield does what Mayfield does
That
enough.
scramble run.
Yep, scramble,
was
get his
awesome.
head knocked off.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't slide, and that makes me nervous.
Yep.
But he's like, I got to get a first down.
Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do. And this kid, Bucky Irving, is just playing some amazing football as well.
Yep.
And when I thought, even when the Saints got the ball at the end and they would have had to score and get the 2-point play, when Tampa Bay got the ball back, and normally you take a knee and
Yeah.
game over, and
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Evans
Loved
is
it.
5
I
yards
love
away,
it.
and I'm like, oh my God, Mayfield, I know you won't throw an interception, and you got to get Evans the ball.
You have to.
You want to talk about a professional dude, Mike
Yeah.
Evans.
Yeah.
So getting him the
Like the-
ball, Evans
Yes.
showing emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honest to God, you guys, without looking like a Sally, I shed a tear when
Yeah.
Evans got
Yes.
that.
The-
I really did.
Yes, because the fact that they called the play, that
yes.
it was important to the whole team,
Right.
that he got this. I was freaking out because I was like,
Oh,
it's
me
only
too.
5 yards,
Yeah, I
guys.
know.
Me too.
It's not. I was worried.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans, who's a stand-up guy,
Yeah.
true
Such a great
sportsman,
guy, yeah.
such a
Yep.
great guy, showed emotion,
Yep.
still went right to the locker room afterwards. But 11 seasons
Yeah.
Yep.
with 1,000 yards.
That's crazy. And he's had a lot
Yeah.
of different quarterbacks.
Yes,
Right.
and missing 3 weeks this season
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a hammy. Ties, is it Jerry Rice?
Jerry
I think
Jerry
he's-
Rice, yep.
I mean, talk about two
Yeah.
class acts
Yeah.
right there. I shed a tear for that guy, and then I shed a tear for Baker Mayfield because he
The
just
Baker.
keeps getting it done.
He
Yeah.
does.
I'm sorry, but that guy he's a cool cat. He's just a
is.
freaking cool cat. So, anyways, I digress bad that time. Liam Cohen is the offensive coordinator for Tampa, and he's really done a good job.
Yes.
He really has. When he had to phase out Rashad White, because he just really wasn't getting it done, and bring the rookie in, he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
And this Jalen McMillan is another
Yeah.
rookie
So
that's
good.
had like 4 touchdowns
Yeah.
or
Good.
6 in the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
So I got to give the guy credit. I hope he stays in Tampa Bay. I really do. I was going to wear my Tampa t-shirt or my Rams t-shirt today, but I couldn't podcast jinx them. So I wore the Cardinals.
True.
Who you
Who
can.
at the beginning of the season, I will admit to this, I said the surprise team
Yep.
for me is this team right here. And
They were for a little bit.
Yep,
Yep.
around week 8 or 9, they had that game lead in the West, and then
They
it was
tanked.
just choke city.
Yep. Then they tanked.
So I will admit it. Who we talked about though was Tennessee, Chicago, and these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that didn't pan out.
Nope.
Nope.
But I was all in thinking the Bears would be much improved. These guys were for 8 or 9 weeks.
Yep.
And Tennessee, I don't understand.
Tennessee needs a quarterback. Nah.
Yep.
Yes.
Will Levis is not
Not-
the answer.
He
Not
is
it.
definitely
He's
not
not
the
it.
answer. No.
So did you hear the other news though? You guys are going to love this, and I'm sure you've heard it already. Tom Brady did check in with Bill Belichick because obviously Brady has a lot of say in who the Raiders are going to hire as their next coach.
Yep.
Bill Belichick is staying with the Tar Heels, in case you guys are wondering.
Was so worried.
But Tom Brady did reach out to him. The other one is, don't know if it's a rumor yet, the Chicago Bears reached out to Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
He was.
They
They were not
requested
allowed.
it. They
Yeah.
But
requested
the
it, but they
Cowboys,
said
Cowboys
no.
denied
Denied it.
the
Yeah.
request.
Yep.
Yep.
What is happening?
Why? Who the hell wants him?
What
If they
is
want him, let
happening?
them take him.
Yeah. Of all the
why?
options out there.
Yep.
All the
Take 'em.
options out
Take 'em,
there.
take 'em.
I'm like,
Jerry Jones is a moron.
why?
Yeah.
Well, what are the Bears doing?
Well, and
though?
the Bears too.
What are they doing?
Yeah. What? Why?
We all know that
Dumbfounded.
franchise is ridiculous.
Beyond dumbfounded. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So now Jerry's like, oh God, everybody else wants my guy.
Right, which
He'll
means
get a 2 or 3
Oh,
year
yeah. Yep.
contract. He will, and he's already said the last 2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
that he's probably going to keep him. I'm like, whatever.
Maybe Mike McCarthy got someone from the Bears and was like, "Hey, listen,
Right.
help a man out."
Throw me a bone here.
And I know you have to go through. So you have to bring in so many,
Right.
blah, blah, yada yada. But I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're the Bears, why are you trying to get an interview with
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy?
I mean, Doug
Yeah.
Peterson's available.
Yeah, and Doug Peterson is available as well.
You know?
The Jags are looking at their list is Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore the last 2 years has been getting a lot of interviews. Todd Monken, Joe Brady, Cohen, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson would be solid in Jacksonville. There are some weapons there, but it's just like I'm saying, Liam Cohen knew how to get the most out of his rookies, blah, 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 put them in good situations. Ben Johnson could do a lot for Trevor Lawrence. He could. He could.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I mean, you have always loved Trevor Lawrence. We have been on the fence.
I don't see it.
One of the best
I don't
rookie
see it.
receivers in the NFL is wearing a Jags uniform. And
Right.
his name is Brian
Yeah,
Thomas
Right, but
with
someone still has to
Mac
throw
Jones.
him.
Yeah.
Someone still
Mac
has to throw
Jones
him.
made that guy. I'm sorry, but you got Brian Thomas. Who's the kid? Bigsby. I'm not looking at ETM anymore.
No.
There's weapons there.
No,
There are
I'm
weapons
not
there.
doubting the weapons. I'm doubting Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Okay, just remember, I also am the one that said, watch out for Sam Darnold this year, and I'm not going to bank his whole year on week 18.
You did say that.
Yeah.
You
He
absolutely
was
said that.
solid.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
So the coaching carousel will continue. I don't know if any more firings will happen. I really don't know. The Antonio Pierce one.
Oh, that's just
shocked
kills
me.
me. Kills me.
hope he
McCarthy, I
finds
don't see getting fired. Mike McDaniel is now welcome back in Miami. I don't know why. And the GM as well, Chris
Yeah.
Greer. I don't know. Miami went from a team that was kind of going up
Last
the
year,
ranks
yeah.
to
They had a good-
they're
they-
falling down.
They
They
had
are.
a good year last year.
Yeah, something's going on there.
And if
Yeah.
Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator who was in year one, he took scrambled eggs and made a good defense. That was like
Yeah.
the 10th ranked defense in Miami. If he leaves, Miami is
Done.
starting
Yeah.
from the ground floor up.
Yep.
So, yeah, the coaching carousel has just begun. I just got a kick out of the Mike McCarthy thing.
Yeah.
I really did. So on the clock is the Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, Giants, Pats.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel okay with that?
Yeah.
I mean, did you want a quarterback, meaning one of those two?
No.
No.
Okay. And I know you have said no right from
Yeah.
the get-go.
No.
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 Nope.
Okay, so let's look at Wild Card Weekend. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about a six-pack of picks because CB has been leading and is
She's
the
been leading for a
clear-cut
long time.
winner. Last year, I think I won by one game because we just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. CB was in control. She maintained that lead. Wheels went out on a limb.
Yeah.
Wheels and I went opposite
Yeah.
with trying to pick upsets, and Wheels had the better upsets. So you were behind by 3. You're now behind by 2. I'm behind by 5. So CB, you're looking good.
Looking very good, CB.
And
Looking
usually
good.
we would stop the season, but last year we went to Wild Card Weekend as well. So CB said, thumbs up. This is for fun. Let's do it. So first, kudos to all these teams that made it.
Yes.
Win and you're in meant Tampa Bay, you just needed to win.
Yep.
Yep.
And Denver, you just needed to win. I did not want to see Atlanta in. And yes, I'm saying
No.
it.
No.
I did not. I wanted Tampa Bay in so bad. Between going down to the last spot in the AFC, it was Miami, Cincinnati, and the Broncos, excuse me,
Yep.
Denver, and we all knew Kansas City was sitting.
They played like their
They-
fourth string.
Yeah.
They would do
Yeah.
everything to not have the Bengals in.
Yes.
I did not
Yes.
want Miami in, but the scariest team would have been the Bengals.
Yes.
If the
Oh,
Bengals
yeah.
got
Oh,
in,
yeah.
I'm like, nobody's going to want to play
No.
them.
Oh, yeah.
And it
No.
would have been a Joe Burrow, Josh Allen matchup.
Oh man.
But anyways, win one more of those games during the season. Miami had no right being
so
there.
the first game, because I saw this on like Instagram or something, and the Bengals lost to, I can't. It was some team that they really in this week 1 they should have won against them handedly, and they lost. Oh, the Patriots. They lost to
Yes.
the Patriots the
Yes.
first
Good one,
first
CB.
week.
Good one. Good
And
one.
if they had
Yep.
won that game,
Yep.
they would have been in.
Yep. Yes.
Which is crazy.
And
Yes.
the Patriots would have had the first round,
Wasn't the
for number
Bengals
one
going
pick.
on a 3 or 4 game losing streak?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And yes, the defensive coordinator got fired
Yeah.
pretty quickly
Right.
for Cincinnati as well. But it was exciting, and Denver deserves to go.
What a
100%.
season for them.
What a
100%.
season.
What a season.
100%.
I said, you know what, Sean Payton, just not a fan of yours, but
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix, freaking good for you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm the gal on draft night going,
We all were. Like,
Yeah, we
Hey,
were so confused.
what are you doing?
Yep.
But props to him.
Yeah.
Yep. And I thought Bo Nix would sit for a year, but then it was like, why? There's nobody else
Right.
there.
Right.
Got nothing to lose.
And Sean Payton said, he fits my system. Well, guess what? He fits
100%.
Yeah, he
his
does.
system.
100%.
Yep.
And Drew Brees fit his system.
Yeah.
I'm like, the guy can coach. And that's a really good defense, too.
Yep.
It's a great defense.
That is a
Oh,
really
yeah.
good defense.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay scares me. I love them, but I'm saying as a seventh
Yeah.
seed, they scare me. But so we're gonna 6-pack of picks is gonna go one extra week. So we've got the first game up on Saturday. We have 2 games on Saturday, and this is 4 versus 5, and it's the Chargers traveling to Houston, where there's 2 teams in the playoffs in the AFC that are
look
playing their
ter-
worst
that look
ball.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Oh, they're
And
Texans.
it's
The Texans
the
look
Texans
terrible.
and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yep, Texans and Steelers.
Yep.
I'll give
Terrible.
the Steelers
They had a tough
your
schedule.
last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
you were
They had
a
playing
tough
powerhouses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But-
still should have found a way to beat the Bengals,
Yeah.
though.
But
You
they
should have
still
found a way.
just looked terrible. They looked bad.
The Texans. So I'm going Chargers. I'm saying it now.
I'm going
Me too.
Chargers as
Same.
well.
So we're
Yes.
all going LA.
Yep.
We're all going LA. All right. Game 2 on Saturday, and my sister will not be watching this game.
I don't blame her.
Is Pittsburgh versus Baltimore?
Oh, we didn't even have them out.
Oh, we didn't.
Nope.
Maybe we were just doing that for my sister.
Yeah.
We did not put those 2 helmets out. I apologize, sis.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh had Baltimore's number until they played them,
Yep.
what, 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yep.
Baltimore's on a roll.
Yep.
They probably don't want to play Pittsburgh.
I mean, you play them
But-
twice already.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. They know you well.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the? This was my shout out, and I finally remembered it. Did you guys see the story about Myles Garrett and
the offensive lineman
Yeah,
for
Rosengarten.
Yes.
that? So basically, Rosengarten goes up to Myles in between plays and is like, "Listen, I know I'm a nobody, but can I get your jersey out? Can we swap jerseys after?"
I didn't hear this.
And he's like, and Myles Garrett said, "Hey, you're in the league. You're all winning games. You're all looking great. You ain't never a nobody. I got you."
Yeah.
Oh, see? Miles
You love Myles
Garrett.
Garrett.
I do love Miles Garrett.
Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Do I dare ask you guys Pittsburgh,
No, don't
Baltimore?
even.
No.
I think everyone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all know.
So, sorry, sis.
Sorry, Gail.
Sorry. Moving on to Sunday. This might be the one I want to watch the most. There's 2 of them. Denver at Buffalo.
I know.
Is it going to be that easy?
It's not
for
gonna be
Josh
easy.
Allen
It's
and the
not.
Bills?
It's
It's
not going
not.
to be easy because that defense.
Both teams used to playing in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you don't want to go to Bills
If you wanna-
Mafia.
If you want a
End
team
of
to
the US.
if you want to choose, sorry. Oh, Mark is in the house.
Hi, Mark.
But if anyone, he says NFL's a joke. If anyone wants to, put a little money down this weekend,
Oh,
you
no.
want a team to cover the spread.
Yeah.
The Bills are favored by 9 points.
Really?
Wow.
By 9 points. Take the Broncos with the spread.
I would take the Broncos
Yeah.
and 9.
Yeah. So
Well,
go
now
against.
CB's going to get me to gamble.
Go against the spread, guys. Kristen Locke is in the house. She says, "Go Bills."
Oh, hi. Kristen is a huge Bills fan.
Gail says Ravens, of course. No need to be sorry.
At least she knows.
Kristen, good to hear from you,
knows.
my friend. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing with the pick? And it's probably the one team Josh Allen's like, no, not that one.
Yeah.
Give me the Texans.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me maybe even the Steelers. But don't give me the Broncos.
It's definitely going to be a much closer game,
Yes. Agreed.
but I'm still going to go the Bills.
I'm going the Bills.
Joe's in the house, too.
Hey, Joe.
I'm with you, CB. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a much closer game than people think. I think the Denver defense is going to give Josh Allen fits,
The Orange Crush.
but I think his experience over Bo Nix's is what's going to do it.
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm going to
Sure.
go with
What's the weather looking like?
Josh Allen.
I know,
weather
that's
looking
key.
like this weekend?
And I was begging, and I hated doing this, Miami to lose.
Oh, Casey's in the house, too.
Our Casey?
Our Casey,
Hey,
Casey.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I miss you so much.
So don't I.
She says, don't get sucked into the gambling.
I can see her face right now too. Oh my God, right on cue. Thank you, Casey, for that.
Mark says teams that play third string in a game during season should be banned from playoffs.
I was wondering if Mark would say that. But
Joe
then what
says
happens
Bills.
if you play your starters and they get hurt?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Joe says Bills. Casey says hi.
Hi, Casey. All right, so we're all going Bills.
Yes.
All right, we're all going Bills.
And Miller and Alice.
Next game is a 2 versus 7, just like the Denver Buffalo, and it's Philly and Green Bay. We think Jalen Hurts is playing. I heard he was practicing today.
Yeah, yeah. Kristen
mean-
says the colder the better at Highmark.
Yeah,
Valid.
that's true.
Yeah.
I'm going Philly.
Same. Packers haven't looked great either.
I mean,
I'm
I
going
can't, I
Green
can't
Bay.
make up. Okay.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go out on a
I
limb.
can't
They
catch
haven't looked
CB.
great,
You can.
though.
They have not looked great.
They have
No,
not looked
I know,
great.
but I got to pick one. I got to
Yeah.
get an upset somewhere. So
You got 2 games to make up on her.
yeah, exactly.
this
I'm
next
pulling
one,
up the
this
caboose.
next one will be interesting.
So the next 2 I like, but this next one, oh my God, just salivating over this. So number 6, Washington, at number 3,
yeah.
This is the
Tampa
game.
Bay.
This is the
This
game.
is the game to watch, guys. This is the game to
Hey.
watch.
My goodness.
It's gonna be so good.
And the
I'm
weather's going to be
so
nice
Yeah.
unless it's raining in Tampa.
So good.
2
Oh, God
decent.
damn it. This is on Peacock? This can't be on Peacock.
No, it's got to be on something else as well. It can't just be on Peacock.
No,
So you were talking about 2 good defenses, not great.
not great.
Oh, Joe's
We're
taking
talking
Green Bay
about
too.
2 high-powered quarterbacks,
Right.
that can lead their offense in so many directions. Jaden Daniels got some weapons. I really, again, I'm repeating myself. I like Bucky Irving. I like Jalen McMillan. I like Mike Evans. So I'm going to pick Tampa. And I feel very uncomfortable saying that because I love Jaden Daniels. That kid is so freaking fun
So
to
good.
watch. I love Dan Quinn preparing his defense for who they're playing. He may not have a Micah Parsons quite yet, but he will.
Yeah.
After this draft, he will. So I'm going to go with TB. And
Oh, no,
Baker.
it's on NBC too. Okay, good. I got so scared.
I know you're going with Jaden Daniels.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
I'm going.
You have this funny look on your face. You're like, eh.
I'm going Washington.
I'm waiting for CB to make her pick.
I went Washington.
Okay.
Joe says Washington. Mark says
My
boycott-
heart says Tampa. My brain,
I
my
know.
mind, my brain is saying Washington.
Mark
It really
says
is.
boycott the NFL. Let's focus on Batman.
Mark, you should be a stand-up comedian. You really should be.
I'm gonna go because I need to make up another game. So I'll go Tampa.
TB it is. That one pained you, didn't it?
It did.
Pained me
It did.
too.
I mean, either one. I'm fine if either one wins. Because I like to watch both teams.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the whole year, like, you can't go against Baker.
Right.
Like, he
Yeah.
just makes you real. Like, you can't go against him.
Did you guys think 3-4 years ago you would be saying,
No.
I can't go
Baker?
against Baker Mayfield?
No.
And I don't get football jerseys. I don't buy jerseys. But if I did, I would give
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield one.
Right?
I really would. And how do you not like Baker Mayfield
I know.
anyway?
Mark says, did you get the chocolate?
Yes. And I was going to comment last week, Mark, they are gone. The crew loved
Listen,
them.
chocolate.
Loved them.
Chocolate at rehab lasts maybe half an
Thank
hour.
you, my friend.
It lasts
Oh,
one
my
lunch.
God. We did a good job sharing. But you're right, CB. You know.
Chocolate at rehab.
You put a
You'd
bowl
think.
of fruit right next to it, and everyone goes for the chocolate, and the fruit sits
you
till
think,
it rots.
Yeah.
You think, oh, as you know,
Yeah.
PTs,
Yep.
OGs, like you know.
Yep.
Nope, we go for the chocolate.
Oh, they're so good. Ghirardelli, so good. Last game, which could be interesting, and poor
I
Minnesota.
did miss out, Mark. I did miss out.
Poor Minnesota going
Right.
from what could have been the 1 seed to the 5th seed, but it wasn't even close.
No.
It really
No.
wasn't.
No.
No.
It really wasn't even
No.
close. And you know me, I was beaming watching Jahmyr Gibbs. That kid's
Yeah, he
fun.
is.
Oh my gosh.
And I got to say this. He got, I'm going to gross you guys out, but he got the snot kicked
Yeah, he
out of
did.
him
Yep, literally.
by Van Ginkel.
Yeah.
Yep, literally.
And I went,
I got
and that
so
was
scared.
early.
I got
Early,
so
early.
scared. I was
and
like,
I
oh,
went,
no.
he's not coming back.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not coming back.
Yeah.
He got hit so hard in so many
Yep.
instances in that game.
Yep.
But that hit on Van Ginkel, you text me
I
right
did.
after that.
Ugh.
And I'm like, oh.
I mean, you can just see Goff.
It was like
as the ball,
literally.
as he lets go of the ball,
Yeah.
you can see Goff's eyes.
Yeah.
That he knows, like, oh,
I
fuck,
fucked
look
up.
what I just
I
did.
fucked up.
I fucked up. I should just threw it away. Like, what am I doing?
And for
Yeah.
him to come, and he got beat to shit
Yeah, he
in
did.
that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And what do you have, 4 TDs?
4.
Yeah.
4 TDs.
Mark says that was my thank you, and best hit of the year and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Van
totally
Ginkel's a badass.
Yeah, he
God, I
is.
hated that Miami let him walk.
Mm-hmm.
So what Minnesota team's going to show up, what
Right.
Rams team is going to show up.
Right.
You know? I love the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I picked them to win the West, make me look good, but not feeling all warm and fuzzy
Yeah.
about the Rams. I will say this, talk about a team that had a great draft. Jared Verse and Fisk, I think, the 2 Florida State
Fisk,
guys.
yep.
Yeah.
And they both made the all-rookie team on defense. They have a cornerback, too, that's in his first or second year. So that team drafts so well. I just, again, look for Brian Flores to come with a better game plan.
Yep.
And he tried to. Detroit's loaded on offense.
I know, but
But Aaron Glenn just stopped Sam Darnold.
yep,
I'm going to go with the Vikes.
Me too.
same.
Yeah.
So we're all too much in agreement. I like that you two picked 2 different ones to try to make up ground.
I had to. I have to.
And it'll be fun to watch that game. It will be. That's actually the Monday night game. Did you know
I was
that?
so confused by that.
Monday
when I
night.
saw
Is there a Monday night game?
Exactly.
Man, come on.
It's
If you
wild
want
card
people to
weekend.
watch it.
Wild card weekend.
And I do believe, again, the Washington-Tampa one will be the 8:20 game. So another
gonna be
late
brutal,
night
man.
on
It's
Sunday.
gonna be
I don't
brutal.
sleep on Sunday nights anyway. So we're going to wrap up our show, though. You guys got your whiteboards?
Yep.
Because I meant to ask you, and it's only going to be a few questions, because we were on New Year's.
Oh yes.
So
right?
Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever day it was.
Oh, Jen says Vikings Rams might have to get moved because of the wildfires that are going
The
on
wildfires
in California.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Jen. And I had seen a headline about that. So let's see what happens there. What was the best moment in sports in 2024? And I wrote my answers down too. And I know you guys are going to be like,
I
you
give
should have
2?
given this to us last week. And,
You did. You did.
oh, I did. That's right. I
did.
did. Oh,
You
thank you
did.
for that. So as you're thinking, what was the worst moment in sports in 2024? And what was the best moment in sports in 2024? And I did write down, and my answer's really not a sports related one, but I'm going to write it down anyways. And as you're doing those, it's hard because
There's been
it's
so
hard because
many.
you're trying to remember all of 2024. And chime in, people. Chime in with
Yeah.
what you think was the best moment in sports in 2024. And what was the worst moment? I mean, easily look at the sports, but look at college. And don't forget the Olympics.
I know. Yep.
I guess that's where, obviously,
yours.
I'm letting y'all know where I went. And while you're
Karen
doing that,
says, Wheels, your best moment can't be about Cece.
oh,
Too bad it already is. Too
You
bad.
deserve a ding ding for that one.
Best
and I think
moment.
It's funny that that's the only thing you had written down on
Yep.
your board.
Caitlin
That's
Clark.
hilarious.
Yep.
While you're doing that,
I don't know what the
where does Pete
worst-
Alonso land in free agency? Mariners,
What
Mets,
is going
Red
on?
Sox, or none of the above?
What's taking so long?
For what?
Him.
I
Oh.
would say the Mariners.
You think there's going to be a dark
Really?
horse? Because they
Yeah.
are the dark horse.
Yes, I do.
keep hearing the
The
Red
Giants?
Sox lately.
Giants too, right?
Giants are in there too.
Yeah.
Actually,
I say
that's a good
Giants.
one.
I say
You
Giants.
say
I have
Giants.
no-
You say Mariners.
Mariners.
I don't know, for some reason I'm sucking into the fact that I think he's going to go to the Red Sox.
Ew.
I mean, I would like nothing more than to see him back with the Mets. You want to know what's taking so long, CB? You told me a week ago.
Oh yeah,
The Mets are
years.
offering $30 million a year.
for 3 years. Take it.
Take it,
Yeah.
and he's looking for like $200 million.
Yeah.
Give him an opt-out
No.
after 1 year.
And this is Scott Boras. That's his.
Because you know what it is? Scott Boras is really good at clients like Soto or even Garrett Cole, who will get those huge contracts. He will get the most out of the big contracts, but then he promises all this shit to his mid-level
Yep.
players.
Yeah.
And
Like an
then
Alonso.
Right.
they believe
Yeah.
that they're going to get all this stuff,
Yep.
and then look at what happened to Montgomery.
Right?
He got
Jordan Montgomery.
screwed.
Boom.
He got screwed.
Boom.
And then fired Boris.
Right?
So.
Right. The third question, other than the Pete Alonso one I was just filling, is if you could pick one sporting event in 2025 to go to, what would it be?
In 2025?
This year. Yep. I mean, Wheels is just going to answer
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark on everything.
Everything. I mean, duh.
Let's do.
I do not have a worse moment. I
Sherry
can't-
Fitch says absolutely CC.
Yeah.
Hey, Fisher.
See?
Mark says maybe Dolphins will give up more good players we know have good TEs. Let's
Good to
trade
hear
for a
Sherry
fifth
Fitch in
string.
the house. I love that.
Let's trade for a fifth string quarterback and make him a starter.
Hey, you guys, and
Sounds like the Giants. Joe Edson says best Dodgers winning World Series, worst. Oh, best the Dodgers winning the World Series and worst Kansas City winning the Super Bowl potentially.
Oh.
Oh, this year. That's also in this past year.
And
Ouch.
as we're
That's
coming
valid.
up with these answers, do we give a shout out to Mama Wheels?
Yeah, so Mama Wheels is pissed that her boy, Patrick Mahomes, did not make the Pro Bowl. She said that everyone's just a hater, and
I love your mom.
she cannot believe
Bunch of haters.
bunch of haters is what she said.
Haters.
So
Who made the Pro Bowl for the quarterback?
for
Does anybody
AFC,
know?
it was Lamar and Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Mama, I love
Sorry,
you,
Mama Wheels.
but they had a better season than your
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he's still,
She's like,
sorry.
but they're 16-1. How can he not make it?
Because
And-
he had tons
He
of
got
interceptions
lucky, Mom.
too.
He got
had-
lucky.
and he got the crappy one. Joe Edson says Alonso stays with the Mets Daytona 500.
That's where he would wanna go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's by far.
Kristen Locke says best UVM soccer.
Oh, good one,
was
Christian.
on my mind, Kristen. Worst Olympic breakdancing. Also,
that
great.
was really bad.
Mark says best
That's a
Miami.
good one.
Mark says best Miami still only undefeated season. And yeah.
He's more of a diehard than I.
Yeah. And then 2025, what do I want to go see in 2025?
My best moment is Simone Biles.
Me too!
I knew
No
that
way!
I knew it was going to be CBs. That's easy. I could have answered that for her.
And then my B was the U.S. women's national team Olympic gold.
And
soccer
UVM
gold.
soccer would have been my second
Yeah.
one. My worst, and it's not really sports related because it's called entertainment, is who the hell let Mike Tyson back in a boxing match?
Yeah,
True!
good one.
Get the frig out of here!
Tyson fight.
CB! What the heck?
Good one. Mine, the only thing I could think of was that the Giants let Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That was
As a
pretty-
Giants fan, that
Yeah.
was just the dumbest decision.
Yep.
And obviously, my best moment, it's not even a moment, it's a person. It's Caitlin Clark. Every moment of Caitlin Clark in 2024
I
was my
gonna say,
favorite.
so what moment? But you just said
My favorite. I actually
Every
it was
moment.
it was the game that
don't know
she
what to
broke
say.
the women's scoring record because she
Gotcha.
broke
Gotcha.
it with a logo shot. But
Gotcha.
I think for me, summing up 2024 is Caitlin Clark.
Shocking.
I know it shocks everyone listening and watching,
CB, how did you and I have the same? That was pretty cool.
but
I could not see your board at all. Sporting event that I would most like to go to in 2025, and I don't care if it's men's or women's, but Final Four. I've always wanted to be in that atmosphere
Yeah.
of the Final Four. But then you know what would happen if I went? It would be such a cluster that I'd be like, God, I just want to be sitting on my couch watching this
Yeah.
on the big screen. But it's always been on my bucket list, so I threw that one out there. What say you guys?
Raylene
Yeah,
says,
go.
I'm going to make it a minimum of 5 basketball games at the Odd this season. I have to be better about supporting our local youth 2025.
Oh, I love that.
Sherry says, yes, I'm guessing to the CC. You're the CC.
She is.
Love it.
Raylene says, best and worst, I'll take your word for it. I'm clueless.
Really?
And then Mark says, fake Jake.
He said what?
Fake Jake.
What's that mean?
The Tyson.
The
Tyson fight,
one.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
we're
Jake-
talking about
Jake
the
Paul.
flurry. Yeah.
And Jake Paul.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mark, for that, because that was a joke.
Yeah.
But it's not sports, it's entertainment.
Right.
Because there was nothing about that.
I mean, it was on Netflix, so that
Yeah.
tells you everything right
Yeah.
there.
So,
So-
woof.
Where I would like to go to, and no, it's not a Caitlin Clark game. Believe it
What?
Shocking.
or not.
Shocking.
What is happening? What's
My
happening?
all-time bucket list is the Women's College World Series of
Oh,
softball.
yes.
Oh, nice.
Good one.
That is my all-time bucket list event.
You know what? I'm going to. I'll go with you to that instead of the Final Four
Okay.
because less chaos
Yes,
there.
this
That's
is so much
true.
more fun.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
yes,
Yeah, less
very
chaos.
low
Yeah.
key.
Less chaos. CB, what do you want to go see?
I didn't.
Soccer.
I don't,
It's gotta be soccer.
There,
What's
yes,
soccer?
there's the fine. I know because there's not like a World Cup this year, but there is the Euros. So I would go
Yep.
see the Euros.
Okay, because it's got to be a soccer event.
Yeah, I know. I was like thinking of like specific soccer events. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the women's national team's going through a lot of transition, so it'll be interesting. But the Euros are going to be more fun this year.
And you know, maybe we go to a rugby game.
Right?
Oh, Joe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that would be so much fun.
Right.
Joe says, "Great job on the mic, Shep, on Saturday."
Thank you so much. I do have a good time broadcasting. It is a lot of fun, and it was neat to call both of the Twinfield Williamstown. You can feel that rivalry is
Good games.
very
Yeah.
back.
Good games.
Very back. And there's this kid on, I can tell you his name because I have the rosters right here. Omar Mixic Nib. If you can go watch a Twinfield game, go watch this freshman
Wow.
who was our CVTsport.net player of the game. And you know what? High school sports is in full swing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Get out there and support. Raylene said it. Get out there and support these local high schools. We're almost quarter of the way. We're a quarter of the way through. Get out and support college football.
Yeah. College
you're
football
chilling tomorrow and
wild card
Friday.
weekend,
Wild card weekend.
football.
And
all
I'll
weekend
always
for 4 days,
squeeze
5 days.
a women's college basketball game
Oh,
in
yeah.
there
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
On Sunday, it's like,
Yep.
okay, who's playing? Or
Yeah, there's a good. I think there's a good game on.
and on one more note,
Yeah.
Oh.
Paige Beckers.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Did anyone else just stop breathing
Yep.
for the poor girl for
Oh
a second?
my-
I'm like her knees. Her
Yeah.
knees. Someone protect her knees.
Because we had just said last
Yeah.
week, if Juju were in the draft,
Yeah.
we would all take Juju.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like her game a little bit better, no injuries.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let's not,
Right.
can't
Yep.
give her a podcast jinx. But all I heard watching a game was, and at halftime, we'll get an update on the Paige Beckers injury. And I went,
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was bad.
What?
It looked real bad.
It
Oh.
looks so bad.
My God. But, and I will watch, I was watching
'Cause-
Oklahoma women the other night. I mean, the parity in men's
Yeah.
and women's college basketball game, basketball this year is, not games, but this year is through the roof.
I'm so excited for my.
I mean, Texas,
Me too.
that Texas hat you're wearing in women's college basketball, don't be surprised
Yeah.
if they're cutting down the nets either. So, yes, we've got the college football playoffs, high school sports, and wild card weekend
Yes.
at its best. Get out there and enjoy. Stay home and enjoy because it is pretty cold out there,
It is
too.
very cold, yes.
But enjoy all sports all day, every day, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday.